Here in the Garden State of New Jersey, many people head to the Jersey Shore or Atlantic City for their summer vacation. However, there is another group of very hungry and very fast racers who instead make the trip to New Jersey Motorsports Park for their summertime fun. The drivers of the Ligier Junior Formula Championship, F4, and Formula Regional America fight for big money and big opportunities next, live on Speed Sport 1. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 2.25-mile, 12-turn New Jersey Motorsports Park. I'm Ralph Shaheen. Ben Sissel's with me here today. We're going to have a guest joining us as well as we get this open-wheel block of racing underway here live on Speed Sport 1. We're going to begin with the Ligier Junior Formula Championship. Then we'll have F4, and we'll wrap up the day with the Formula Regional Americas Championship Series. It's going to be a great afternoon of racing. Glad to have you with us. As I mentioned, 3 different forms of open-wheel machinery competing here today. Let's show you a little bit more about the cars and give you some ideas to how you can tell the difference between the different machinery that you're looking at. Here's race director Scott Goodyear.
This is the open-wheel ladder system here in the SpeedTour series. We have 3 different classes for drivers to come out of karting and get involved in car racing. The first class we have is what we call the JFC class, and this is the Gen 1 F4 car that we used for many years, and now it's been replaced by the Gen 2 car, which I'll bring you up to speed here in just a second. But this is a monocoque chassis. It's got the Honda K20 engine in it. It's about 160 horsepower. The cars go about 130 miles an hour, and the drivers, if you look inside here, get just like an F1 car or an Indy car. Beautiful seats, steering wheels have all the controls on it, and in the back here you can see that they've got a great wing system that the drivers get to now come out of karting and start to play with wings front and rear. This is a great training car for young drivers coming out of karting, and the nice thing about this is that you can come into this class here at 14 years of age. The really neat thing that I find is that this class is so competitive for all the drivers. They get the training and understanding about situational awareness about cars around them, because these cars are bigger than obviously a kart that they were used to before, and then they have the opportunity then to move into our Gen 2 car. And this is the new F422 Gen 2 car. It's a halo car, so it looks very similar to an F1 car. This car itself has about 180 horsepower, goes about 150 miles an hour. It's an up-to-date car. When I say that, you can just look at the wings that are on the car, and then if you look towards the back here, you can see the up-to-date floor. The aerodynamics of this car are up-to-date and super. It looks like a little Formula 1 car. The racing in this class here has been superb this year, and these drivers are getting themselves ready to move up to the top class that we have, which is a Formula Regional class. This class here is where drivers finish off in our ladder system, and they either head to Europe or else they go towards the Indy Next Series and then on to the IndyCar Series. And we've got quite a few drivers that have gone through this whole ladder system that we have now that are now competing in the IndyCar Series and also the Indianapolis 500. This car here, again, with the K20 motor and from Honda, this is the turbocharged motor, whereas the original F4 car did not have the turbocharge on it. So this is the 303 horsepower, about 165 mile an hour car. But everything you look on here, very similar to an F1 car. You look at the front wings, the rear wings, the aerodynamics, the tray that we have underneath here with the aerodynamics itself, the downforce on these cars is so similar to what they have to get used to when they start to move up the ladder. It's a terrific training ground car. All 3 of these classes here are what we work on to make sure that these drivers are prepped and ready to get into the next level of racing to continue their career.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. It's a great explanation of the 3 different categories we have here. We have 3 different folks holding microphones for our coverage as well, and joining me in the booth now is Jet Bowling. And Jet, you're going to be busy later today because you're going to be driving one of those Formula Regional America cars, the number 22 for Kiwi Motorsports. You currently have 1 win this year, 6 podiums, and you're 3rd in the points, just 30 out of the lead, which is very important. We'll get to in a second. Your best finish here in New Jersey was in this category of 3rd just a year ago. And I mentioned that points and why it's so important. We talked at the very top of the show about the big money that's available. There's a $100,000 scholarship if you win the Formula Regional Americas Championship.
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for having me here. I'm happy to be able to finally get out to commentate a race this season. But, yeah, like you said, that's a lot of money. Obviously, racing is an expensive sport. You know, I'm blessed to have some budget to be able to take to new ventures next season. But an extra $100,000 sounds really good right about now.
I bet it does. And I'm sure it sounds really great to the folks at MasterCard and Visa, right? Because you maxed those out already. All right, well, let's introduce you to the third member of our broadcasting crew. Here's Ben Sissel.
Thank you so much, Ralph. I'm here on the grid for the Ligier Junior Formula Championship. And one of the big stories, Ava Hansen had her best qualifying. She's fourth. I got to point something out, though. Her dad was showing me this. This is Zuzu. Zuzu was her mascot when she was in karts. Zuzu still exists as a stuffed animal that always rode in her cart at their tent. But there's not enough room in the cabin, so he's in sticker form. But your best qualifying here at New Jersey. Ava, how you feeling?
I'm feeling so excited, just so grateful to be here, and we got a lot of speed, so I want to put some good use to it.
Nice. Well, she's going to be out there starting fourth, doing really well. She had some laps here last year in F1600, but obviously feeling very comfortable. Then Harbir Das here with the Das Psych and the North Coast Medical Group. Harbir doing really well in the points. How you feeling here at New Jersey?
I'm feeling really excited for this race. I think it's be a good one. I got a good feeling about it.
Nice. He's got a good feeling about it. You can see he's going out on the sticker tires, a little bit scuffed. Then we come up here. So our points leader from Uruguay, Gaston Irasu with Elia Group NCAP, doing really well. Are you having a good time at New Jersey? Thumbs up. You feeling good at this track, Gaston?
Yeah, it's a new track for me, and I can get the P2 in the qualifying, so I'm really happy.
Nice. New track to him, he says, but he's qualified, feels really good about P2, the BSE. But I think the story here is going to be Roman Felber. His identical twin is back there in fifth place. But Roman, kind of a new car to him. I was talking to him before qualifying, and he was very happy with this car. And you've got to be happy about P1, Roman. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like the car.
You hear that? A man, a few words, but he's running the Bio Longevity, the Labs car, and he's got Rebel Felber Motorsports on the side, just trying to go through, because I know he's running the Phantom Fireworks, and then Town Hall, which I believe is a sports bar in Akron, Cleveland. Thank you very much. I'm getting some producer notes from Josh Felber over there. I like that. Then we come over here. Drew Such also doing very well in the championship. Drew, how you feeling? The second Berg Racing car I've spoken to. How you feeling about New Jersey?
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Nice, man. They don't have a lot to say. They're very game face here in the Ligier JFC Championship. Somebody who isn't camera shy, Daniel Cará, running with the Tenuta, Fopa, and Ambrosi, but also Work Hub. And they've just started with Work Hub just outside of Houston. They've just opened up a new garage. How you feeling, Daniel?
I'm feeling good. It's nice to be back here at New Jersey, and we're just looking to be back up at the front, so let's make it happen.
Nice. Looking to move back up to the front, he says. He says, let's make it happen. We've got so many great drivers here. Luca Day all the way from Canada, the road to racing here. But I want to come back because we do have a new driver with us. Jordan Martin, running with the Hubsidy, a marketing group out of Mexico. Let me come around here and get some comments from Jordan. Jordan, first weekend with us in JFC, New Jersey Motorsports Park. This is a pretty challenging course. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, just finding pace and then seeing what we can do in the races.
Nice. So, lights go out, first race. What's your goal when the lights go out and then for the end of the race?
Be very aware, keep it on track, of course, and just find my way to make up spots and make up some of my time that I've been losing. But again, just be very aware in what's happening.
Nice. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, be very aware, try to make up spots when they go, but it sounds like she's not going to take any unnecessary risks out there, and that's exactly what we're trying to instill in the drivers in this series. So Cash Felber over here, right behind Ava, qualified 5th. Max Mokaram, we need to talk about Max. Max, very fast driver. Max, I'm unfamiliar with you in this car. Is this a new car or new livery?
It's the car that we used at NOLA, the one that we got a podium in, but we changed some of the changed the engine cover, the front wing, and the side pods because they were lighter and I was overweight last race in the other car. So yeah.
Nice. Well, there you go. And we got to get a good shot of this front wing. Check this out. Very nice, Max. I like that. Now we'll come back here a little bit because I hear that we're about to get going here. Kind of the calm before the storm. But Michael Fatuda in New Jersey from New York City. So Fatuda, this has got to be kind of one of your home tracks or one of the closer tracks to you. How you feeling about this?
I'm feeling kind of good about it. I qualified pretty good. I'm pretty fast now, so hopefully I can push my way up the grid. Definitely.
I like it. And he's got new frosted tips for his hairstyle. I haven't seen the steering wheel with you. It looks like you've made a few changes, Fatuda.
Actually, no, it's the same as Mid-Ohio, but I did put these grips at Mid-Ohio to have a better, handle on the steering wheel.
Nice. I like that. A little bit of insight here. Professional trumpet player from New York City, Michael Fatuda, doing really well. And then Zach Forey, all the way from South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Zach, how are you feeling?
Yeah, just want to feeling good. Just want to give a big shout out to the whole crew. We had a crash in qualifying and the car literally got off the jacks 2 minutes ago. So to get this car back on the grid is a big job. And thank you to everyone at Kiwi Motorsport for getting the car ready. I mean, it's just amazing what they've done for me, and yeah, hoping we can get a good result for the race.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you after this morning's session and you kind of nodded your head like not sure if I was going to be out there. I was talking to the Kiwi crew and they were working at it, so I love it. Big team effort for Kiwi, for Zach to get back out there. Now Zach wants to repay it to all of his crew as he goes out there looking for a good result here. But you can see I'm out here on the grid in the beginning of August. I'm not sweating. It's perfect weather. We've got blue skies, nice clouds. This should be a great start to our Ligier Junior Formula Championship here at the New Jersey Lottery Speed Tour. We've got a lot coming up. I'm not sure where we are here on the grid, but Ralph, I'm going to send it back up to you in the booth, and then I'll be down in pit lane doing some reporting.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Looking forward to it. Jet, looks like all the racers are ready to go, the guys and the gals. This Ligier Junior Formula Championship is the first rung on the ladder that you drivers go up as you work your way to either IndyCar or potentially Formula One or who knows where. Tell me a little bit about the Ligier Junior Formula Championship as far as the ladder system.
Yeah, like you said, it's the very base of the entry level. It was actually my first car to ever drive, so very entry-level series, low horsepower, quite forgiving car, good racing, really good racing. So, I'm not going to be surprised if we see the most passes out of any of the series in these races just because, there's not a lot of downforce, so you can follow quite closely at a track that's like this. But very forgiving, very cost-effective series as well. That's the main part, I think, that the championship does such a good job at. Tires are relatively cheap. They're not very, they don't use a lot of fuel compared to other cars, and just low cost, and that's all you can ask for from the entry-level series.
We talked about how you're racing for a $100,000 scholarship. Win this Ligier Junior Formula Championship, you automatically get a seat in an F4 car next year. Win the F4 series, get a seat in your championship, Formula Regional Americas, and you are on your way just like Jet Bowling is.
Yeah.
So stay with us. We're coming back here to New Jersey Motorsports Park. We're going to be getting the first of 3 races underway. A great afternoon of open wheel racing live here on Speed Sport 1. Stay with us. Ligier Junior Formula Championship coming up after this.
How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HT2 system.
Said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look out.
Back here in the Jersey Motorsports Park, Ralph Shaheen and Jet Bowling sitting here with you. Ben Sissel covering all the action down on pit road. So, Jet, when you're sitting here in this false grid area, you haven't rolled out yet. We'll have a standing start with our Ligier Junior Formula Championship cars. What's going through your mind here? What are you focused on?
Yeah, a lot of it's just the start process. I found it's a very routine thing. You know, you want to keep to the same things you do. For me, you know, it's a lot of the tire warm-up, especially with the higher horsepower cars as we have in the Formula Regional Championship. You can see on the video here they have stickers on their tires from the brand new tires. Pretty much the easiest telltale for the tires that sticker's gone and you're ready to go.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit because everybody's on hand-cooked tires and you get 2 sets for the weekend.
Yeah.
So how are you managing your tires?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Some tracks obviously easier than others. In Ohio, we're last round, obviously a bit tougher on tires. This track isn't too bad, but you just got to feel the car. If the car's starting to slide on you, you just need to breathe off the throttle, breathe off the brake, whatever it is, and just let the car relax. If you're really fighting the car, if you're really getting a work out of it, most likely you're draining the tire. So just drive easy, drive smooth, which isn't always easy to do, especially when you're trying to gain positions, but you just got to stay calm and feel the tire out because it is a long game.
Well, and yeah, practice and qualifying, and this weekend 3 races. So somewhere along the way, you're out of tire.
Exactly. Normally that's why we say race 3 is kind of just the Hail Mary of the races. You know, you don't know what everybody else has their tire like. Everybody's probably going to be on the worst tire they've been on all weekend, so you just kind of got to send it, and that's when the driver starts to show.
Well, that'll be tomorrow afternoon. Right now you're on the tire that you basically practiced and qualified on.
Right. So race 1 is going to be a really good tire, either brand new or the quality tire, so very low mileage.
Here's a look at our starting lineup. Ben basically introduced you to everybody in it. This championship here, Gaston Arazu, pretty much been the star of the series.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a great championship. Obviously, Gaston's got out to a good lead, but really competitive. I love watching these races. Like I said, they're so good at racing each other. They keep it clean, you know, most of the time for being a junior championship. So I think they do a good job, and the racing's just so much fun to watch. It makes me kind of miss those days, you know.
And they are a younger group of drivers, too, as young as 14.
Yeah.
So they're in a different mindset, some of them, too.
Most of these kids are in a go-kart, probably more than they're in the race car, so it's definitely a big transition to remind yourself, hey, this is a bigger car on a bigger track. We got to race with a bit more respect for each other.
Field is lining up, getting ready to go. take me through the standing start process.
So you have obviously you have the grid box in front of you. You'll have somebody on the radio. You can see all those people waving their arms on the side of the grid wall there, just lining you up, giving you a countdown, 3, 2, 1, stop. You'll stop, hold it in first gear, and then I like to try and get my breath, keep that heart rate down just to get a good reaction for the lights, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is those lights.
Well, here we go. First race of the day, live here on Speed Sport 1, the Ligier Junior Formula Championship. Come the revs. A good start by Roman Felber here in the 73, the red and white car. And Chad, he quickly moves to the outside to line up here for turn 1.
Yeah, you really want to keep that momentum, especially these low horsepower cars. Keep that momentum, and that's exactly what I see as a start. Just see car links between you and that guy behind you.
I don't think he could have done that any better than he did.
Definitely not. He's dreaming right now.
There's a look at Jordan Martin making her first appearance with us out of Stuart, Florida, in that LC Racing Team entry. Oh, smoking him down into the corner. That's the other Felber. That's Cash Felber, I believe. Is that Cash? I believe it is. Let's see if we can get a good look at the numbers. Working their way over to the backside of the racetrack here. This is a deceptively very fast racetrack, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. These corners, from the outside point of view, they look really slow, but inside the car, they're definitely not slow. These cars are probably averaging around just under 100 miles per hour throughout the track, so pretty fast.
And you're just about done with the slow stuff here as you start to make your way onto the front straightaway. So how soon are you getting flat out here as you come onto the front stretch?
Pretty much out of that last winding corner, turn 10, you're flat. So you're flat for these cars for probably a good 20 seconds out.
All the way through turn 12.
Yep, all the way.
And they're going to utilize the draft here. Pass being made coming down here, Such to the inside. And he's going to get around Ava Hansen and move up a spot. That'll move him up to 5th. And there is the 42 of Gaston Arazu, driver out of Uruguay. Points leader. 23 is Harbier Das out of Cleveland, Ohio. A Bird Racing entry. Harbier right now holding down second place. And out in front of everybody is Felber in the 73 Roman.
Cash Felber behind Harbier. He's quicker that last lap, so expect to see some good racing there from him too.
Yeah, Roman Felber in the silver car, Cash in the black. They're running 2nd and 4th. Favorite spots to pass here? Where do you have your best shot at setting somebody up?
Turn 1 is easily the best position to go for, especially in these cars where the horsepower is not as high. You're not going to carry as much speed through corners. You could probably get one done around turn 6 as well. Turn 5 also, those bigger brake zones. But turn 1 and turn 5 really all you're going to get done unless somebody makes a mistake, which is kind of what you got to hope for when you're behind somebody for a long time.
Arazu here. Gaston Arazu in that blue 42. Gets around the 23 of Das. That'll move Gaston up to 2nd. And problems here for the 8 car. That's Martin making her first race here appearance with us. Jordan Martin out of Stuart, Florida. Big issues with her machine. She's one of those drivers straight out of karting making her first appearance in a full-scale race car with us. Felber brothers battling here for 3rd. Arazu in that 42. (16 rounds). 9 of the 16 rounds completed already this year. And Arazu opened the season up with 6 straight podiums, and then added a race win in race 2 at Mid-Ohio. Then he missed the podium in the other 2 events over the weekend in Mid-Ohio, and that cost him what was a significant points lead coming into Mid-Ohio. It closed up on him some, but he's still the guy to beat.
Yeah, you can see he's wasting no time to get up to speed. He's already got the fastest lap of the race by 3/10. He's up into second already, chasing down Roman.
Felber out front. And then Arazu, Toss, and the other Felber, which will be Cash. Where do you see Arazu making up his time?
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
One place he seems quickest at?
It's hard to tell from up in this booth, but I'm assuming it's going to be through the high-speed stuff. It's typically where you find it in these low horsepower cars, just carrying momentum. I imagine he maybe has a setup, or maybe he's burning his tires, and maybe Roman's saving tires. So it'll be nice to see how it pans out throughout the race. But high speed's probably where he's going to be saving the most time. Roman in front.
4 and 5 through here. 12 turns making up this 2.25 mile circuit here in New Jersey. It looks pretty flat, but there is some elevation.
There is some elevation, certainly in the first part of the lap. Going through turn 2, there's quite a hill, and then going into turn 4, there's also another hill that you go up, obviously going down before. So there is some elevation, and it's quite fun. Hear the revs go up as you peak that hill. Gotta love that. Just keeps it, gives a bit more character to the track. This track, for me, the biggest character part is the curves. A lot of the curves here are quite high, so in a low car that we have in these Formula cars, you tend to bottom a lot. So you tend to see people make some mistakes on those curves, and you just can't get it back, and you're in the grass.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks that's got a lot of rhythm to it, a lot of momentum to it. So if you make a mistake somewhere along the way, it's hard to gain that speed back.
Exactly. At a track like this, where it's so tight, for example, qualifying in my class, I was pole by 200th of a second. So one mistake and you're losing so much time, losing position. So it's crucial to be perfect at a track like this, where there's no concrete to go track limits. It's just grass, classic American track, and you gotta love that.
Watching Arazu here. Still holding down second. Chasing the 73 of Roman Felber, just in front of him.
It'll be so crucial for Roman out in front to just not look in his mirrors right now. The gap's just under a second. You just can't look in your mirrors right now.
That is such an easy thing to say and such a hard thing to do, isn't it?
Exactly right. As a driver, it's so easy to look in your mirrors, be worried about the guy behind, and start over-defending when you just have to remind yourself you're in the front and just treat it like a quality session. Just perfect laps and just get to the end of the race.
Leaders working through some of the backside of the racetrack. Looks like getting around Martin here. And Jacir as well. Jacir is out of it, it looks like. But Martin is back out on the track, getting her as many laps in as she can. But out of contention. '28 Drew Such. Such right now showing in 4th. Cará, Daniel Cará, in that number 10, holding down 7th. He got his first career podium here at New Jersey 2 years ago, and he's looking for that first win.
Seems like Gaston made a big mistake on that last lap. The gap opened up to just under 2 seconds. And 1 second mistake somewhere, maybe that was from that traffic that he caught, which is unfortunate. Really annoying when that happens to a driver, but that was an unfortunate spot. I don't think that's on Martin at all.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is where do you catch the traffic, right?
Right, yeah. That's the bit where luck comes into the game, and there's so much out of your control besides just the pedals in the wheel.
Before you, McCarram and Day all squabbling back here. The 12 is Fatuda. That's Hansen. Hansen should be in this group, and Fatuda's in this group. This should be 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, that was a good move from Fourier. And he's going to get attacked here with the one to hold it off. Great move going around the outside of 10 there, and then managing the traffic well from Martin. Really good job. Respectful racing between these two drivers.
Fourier's in the 15, holding down 8th. Right there in the black and yellow. There's the 12. That's Fatuda in 9th. Yes. And it should be McCarram just in front of him in the 46, and it is.
It was a difficult qualifying for Fourier. Obviously, he's my teammate, Kiwi. Yeah, he went off due to some traffic, and he hit the wall, and the team, like he said, was repairing the car for a long time, up until just 5 minutes before he got in the car, actually. He'll be disappointed with that, but he's looking to... We talked about a strategy. He's looking to get some passes done and get a lap time for tomorrow, because that's how, obviously, the grid is set for tomorrow's race.
McCarram here, 46. The white with the blue. Max will be joining us up here in the booth later on this afternoon, possibly, I think, maybe for your race. There's Felber, your race leader. Tremendous start, and has not been challenged since this one got underway. But Arazu in the blue car, the 42, is close to within a second and a half of our race leader. And with 18 and a half minutes to go, plenty of time yet to reel him in.
Yeah, it looks like he's closing about 2/10 a lap, so give it 10 minutes and he should be there. So should be a great finish to the race. I wonder how Roman's saving tires, how Gaston's saving tires, see how it all comes into play.
With that pace that he's running, do you believe for Arazu he should have tire left?
It's hard to tell. I'm not sure what the track's like right now. It's probably not, if I'm going to be honest. But these cars also aren't too harsh on tires, just because they're not high downforce. You're not putting a lot of stress on the tire. A lot of it's more just sliding on top of the surface instead of, getting in there and grinding on it. But it's interesting to see. It's been a while since I've driven one of these cars, so we'll see what it's like.
Well, Arazu picked off some more. He's to within a second now of Felber. 17 and a half minutes to go. Roman Felber out front leading this one. Cash Felber had a pretty good weekend in Ohio. Got his first career victory in race 1 there at his home track. Twin brothers, just 15 years of age, Cash and Roman. He had a runner-up in race number 3. It's a great way to get your first 2 podiums.
Exactly. Now that this gap is closing between Arazu and Felber, it'll be good for Arazu to get that slipstream, get that draft. He's going to be much quicker in these next few laps, and the gap's going to close tremendously.
And he is within a second, 0.6 of a second, exactly separating the top 2.
As I was saying, it's important for Roman to stay out of his mirrors. It's equally important for Gaston to not just stare at Roman's car. It's so easy to do that when you're behind a car, following so closely. It's so easy to just stare at that car and do what they do, and you start turning in early when they turn in. You start braking early when they brake. You just need to drive your drive for both the drivers. Drive your drive. It's going to play out how it's going to play out.
And unfortunately for Roman, it's easy to all of a sudden see that car in your rearview mirror and lose focus on what's in front of you, right?
Exactly. It can be so disruptive. And even as a driver behind somebody, sometimes you brake just offline, so you're braking in their mirror. So as they're looking left to right, blazing to the apex, you'll see that car in your mirror, and it'll just get in the back of your mind, and you start worrying, heart rate starts going up, mistakes happen, and that's when you get passed.
Well, the racing continues here, and we're inside of 15.5 minutes to go with the Ligier Junior Formula Championship. You're watching it live here on Speed Sport 1. Stay with us. Racing continuing here. Felber and Arazu battling for the win. The gap now, where's it at? Let's see. Close. Picked up another 10th.
Both these drivers doing very, very consistent lap times. Roman just about a 10th to 2/10 slower a lap, but they're both being very consistent despite Arazu's second mistake a couple laps ago. They're being very consistent, which is, you can see they're pulling a big gap on the rest of the field.
Well, and then as you said, there's not a lot of great passing places here at this racetrack. So catching, and Arazu off again there. That's the kind of thing that's going to hurt him dramatically.
Yeah, that'll be a couple tenths, especially going onto that big straight. Bottoming on a curve like that in these low horsepower cars just kills so much momentum, and that's just so much time lost.
Yeah, you can see how much the gap opened up automatically.
Yeah, big mistake there.
Working through the tighter sections of the racetrack here. Now you're pretty much flat out from here.
Yeah, all the way to turn one. Long straightaway. That makes you wonder, is Arazu really burning into those tires, making mistakes like that? And that's just where consistency comes in. At a young age, these kids are. Consistency is such a key. It helps the team. It helps everybody just develop so much quicker.
Cost him 0.3 of a second, that bottle, that he lost there at the line. And that's going to take him a couple of laps to gain that back, and he's got 13.5 minutes to get it done. And then he's got to have time left to complete the pass. New Jersey Lottery SpeedTour event here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Round 10 live here with Speed Sport 1 for the Ligier Junior Formula Championship for 2025. Ralph Sheen, Jeff Holing, and Ben Sissel with you. We have been watching this battle at the front with Roman Felber and Kasten Arazu since this one got underway. Felber has led every lap. Arazu has worked his way up to second, caught Felber, then made a big bobble while we were away. And now he's working his way back up here. And let's see what it is now, Jet. He had lost 0.3 of a second to Felber, and he's gained those 3 back.
There you go.
All in one lap.
Yeah, that's a great job. Definitely committed. I'm sure the engineer was on the radio right after that mistake, said, calm down. You've got time. You've got 13 minutes left. That's, plenty of laps to get back to it, get a move done, watch after the tires. And this is where it comes, you got to start preparing to move a lap before. You got to think, how am I going to set it up? He's going to make a mistake at some point if you keep filling his mirrors. It's how big is the mistake going to be and how do I react to it?
This would be huge for Roman if he can hang on and get the win here today. Brother Cash getting his first win Mid-Ohio, his home track, and Roman looking to grab one here in New Jersey. And we have Martin pulling back into the paddock, so her afternoon, unfortunately, is done. I don't think these guys are going to be catching any traffic anytime soon either, all the way to the finish of this one. So they should have pretty much a clear racetrack to the end.
Yeah, it looks like the closest the gap has been in this whole race, so I'm sure next lap we'll probably see some action.
Oh yeah, he's within 0.4.
Yeah, that slipstream's only getting better and better. He just needs to worry about himself, drive his drive, and Roman's either going to make a mistake or he's going to keep gaining.
Well, when you have a driver like Arazu who's used to being on the podium and getting wins, and a driver like Roman who's trying to get there still, that gives a huge advantage to Arazu in a moment like this where the pressure is really elevated.
Exactly, that's well said. I'm sure Roman's heart rate is probably a bit higher than he'd like it to be, chasing down that first win and holding off somebody like Arazu. But, that's where you got to keep calm. Stay out of your mirrors and stay out of your head.
You saw Cará go by. He's holding down 5th. It's Felber, Arazu, Felber, Such, Cará, Mokaram, Foye, Hansen, Fatuta, and Dosh, your top 10. And coming into the weekend, Gaston Arazu, as we've been mentioning, holding down the points lead. Drew Such has 3 wins this year as well. And he was 17 points behind Gaston Arazu coming into the weekend. So Drew will stay close. He's in 2nd in the points. Cará 3rd in the points. Cash Felber 4th. And then it's Harbier Das who rounds out the top 5 in the point standings, chasing that $100,000 scholarship to move on up. It's actually not a $100,000 scholarship. It's a move up straight into F4.
Right, yeah.
They cover everything, was probably at least $100 grand.
At least, yeah. Really good opportunity for these drivers to win that championship.
Yeah, you don't get a check. You just get the opportunity, right?
Yeah, right.
As opposed to your situation, if you win Formula Regional Americas, you actually get a $100,000 check to do whatever you want with.
Yep. Take it as you please.
We're hearing very, very unofficially that the officials are going to be checking the start to make sure Felber didn't jump the start on this one. So this might all be for naught, but he's still racing as hard as he can right here to be the first to the checkered flag, whether it sticks or doesn't.
Yeah, still great experience battling out in the lead. Yeah, it's interesting. He did get a really good start, so it's interesting if we could go back and look at that. But, great experience here, and I'm sure this is the closest it's going to be, so let's see if there's a move on.
Arazu right there as they come to the line. You see Felber moving over, trying to break that draft. Went to the inside, and Arazu within a 10th.
Yeah, it's
He
tight.
is right there. 8 minutes to go.
It's funny, I'm sure when Roman's team is telling him 8 minutes to go, he's saying that's the longest 8 minutes of my life, but Arazu's saying, I got time.
You have plenty of time here. Don't panic. On that last trip down the front straightaway, Roman moved to the inside and gave Arazu the outside lane, but when you get to turn 1, wouldn't you prefer to be in the outside to arc in better?
Absolutely. The outside's typically always going to be the best line going into a corner, but that was probably just a premature defensive move. You saw that he was in a slipstream. It's hard to see out of these cars. The mirrors aren't, they're not your typical Ford Fiesta or whatever it is, so they're not great mirrors, so you just kind of sometimes got to send it out there and hope, and that was probably a preemptive move, but it did the job.
See this time if he hugs to the outside, takes that line away. Here they come, flat out from here, headed over to the front straightaway through 12, and 12 can be tricky, can't it?
It can. If it gets hot, if it gets greasy, you never know what it's going to do to the car.
Again, he goes inside, and Arazu goes right with him. Now he moves to the outside. Felber tries to get out there. That's not necessarily going to be considered a block because you've got to get outside to get back into 1.
Right, yeah. You just can't move in reaction, so, you can't move twice to block. It's it can be a bit of a gray area, but, with the right drivers who respect each other and, they know what they're doing, it's a good way to manage the system.
1.167 the gap between the two across the line. That time inside of 6.5 minutes now. Taking about 1:30 to complete a lap. So we've got a couple more to go here. Round 10 of the Ligier Junior Formula Championship. Every one of these cars running the Ligier chassis. The Hankook tires. Here they come back through flat into the throttle now. Looking to hit about 130 plus miles an hour down this long front straightaway. And again, Felber moves over. And Arazu lost a couple of tenths that time.
Yeah, it must have been from that move. Obviously, he tried to make a move into one. Roman blocked them, so you're obviously going to lose some time there. And it could just be he's watching Roman's car. You never know. It's really hard to follow the closer you get, especially as you get into higher downforce cars. Just adds to the things you have to deal with behind the car.
Well, with lap times about a minute, just inside of a minute and a half a lap here at New Jersey Motorsports Park, these JFC cars, and we've got 5 minutes left on the clock. It's starting to change now to pressure starting to shift to Arazu of I've got to get this done, and it's benefiting Felber, and I've held him off this long. I've only got to hold him off 2-3 more laps.
Exactly, yeah. Felber's counting down the laps, and Arazu's feeling the pressure now. He's saying, I got to get it done, I got to get it done.
Which could lead to a mistake by Gaston.
Exactly. That may be why the gap's opened up a bit. You know, he's starting to do some more costly maneuvers, and they're not working out in his favor, but, you know, the gap looks closer than ever coming out of the turn 10 this time.
And there is a little bit of traffic in front of our leaders, but I don't know if they're going to catch them before this is done. There you saw the cars going across start-finish line as our leaders came out onto the front stretch, and the gap now 0.324, so Arazu did not make up as much time that lap.
This could be, you know, Roman saved his tires as well. There's so many different answers to this, so.
And what a shame if it's all for naught.
Right.
For Roman.
Right.
When you're sitting there and you're waiting on the smoke out of Felber's car. Did he cook it into the brake?
Yeah, it looked like just locked it up. You could see he was fighting to get the car back more right every single time, more than Arazu.
Oh, man. He just gave it away.
And sometimes that's all it takes. I wouldn't be surprised if Roman maybe peeked in the mirror coming out of 5.
Missed his braking point.
Yeah, exactly. Missed the braking point. Maybe had the wheel turned a bit while he braked. Can't do that in these non-ABS cars. So, you know, that's where things like that come into play. And Arazu was gifted the win here. Not that it's over.
No, it's not. But 3 minutes to go, probably 2 laps. And then Roman will find out the rest of his fate after that. And he's 7/10 behind Felber or Arazu. Felber behind Arazu. Going with the standing start, getting back to Roman Felber there at the start as to whether or not he jumped it or didn't. What are you thinking as you're waiting for the lights? What was he maybe doing wrong? Was he just a little too quick in his thought process?
Yeah, just a preemptive, get that clutch out. And these cars, you can really just dump the clutch, just let it all go. You don't have to slip it or anything like that. So maybe just got a bit excited. You know, he had a good starting position and just
So not
let
much
it go.
of a chance it was more mechanical than mental.
That'd be pretty rare, pretty rare. It can happen, absolutely, but most of the time it's going to be a mental and then physical mistake. Looks like Cash Felber, for some reason, is falling way down in the order.
This is Day here in the 9, and that's Griffith just in front. White flag is out, 1 to go. Day and Griffith fighting for the final spot in the top 10 as our leaders head off into turn number 1. Now to turn 2. And Arazu's probably thinking, boy, that was lucky.
Yeah.
Because he was feeling the pressure there and didn't have to worry about it in the long run.
That's something. Arazu's going to be happy because he has the pole for tomorrow with the fastest lap. But Roman's right behind him in P2 for tomorrow's grid.
Arazu came into it as the points leader, and Gaston will extend that here Second place man Drew Such sitting back in third, but Such has minimized the damage here today, and if Felber is found to have jumped to start, off course here. Is that Griffith?
Looks like the crossing car of Griffith, yeah.
Griffith who is battling with Day. That'll move Day up. Such could move up to second here if it turns out that Felber did pull the trigger a little too quick on the start. Here comes Gaston Arazu, final time through turn 12. Heading to the checkered flag here to take the win in race number 10 of the Ligier Junior Formula Championship here at New Jersey Motorsports Park.
Yeah,
Arazu gets his 7th straight podium and another win for the year. That should be win number 4 for him. What a season he's building.
Yeah, great drive, great drive. You know, it's easy to, you know, when you make 2 big mistakes like we saw, cost him a second one lap and a second the other lap, but he fought back, drove his drive, filled the mirrors, waited for the mistake, capitalized on the mistake. Classic drive, just a consistent drive all around.
And unofficially, Roman Felber in that 73 will finish second. Again, that's unofficial. 0.8 of a second behind Arazu. And then Drew Such, Max McCarron, and Daniel Cará will round out the top 5. But this will have a huge impact on the points depending on how things go with the stewards of the race after here. The officials, if they decide Felber jumped it, everybody moves up. It could be a huge break for Drew Such to really keep the pressure on Gaston in the championship.
Yeah, just have to see how big of a penalty it is. If it's 10 seconds, then Drew will stay in third, and Roman will retain second. But
yeah,
anything bigger than that, Roman's going to get third. But still a podium, still a great result for Roman.
And a great fight.
Exactly. Yeah, well-driven race.
Yeah, just one mistake. It's crazy. We saw Arazu make 3, maybe 4 mistakes, but they weren't big ones, right?
Right.
And they weren't at a time when he had somebody right on his heels. Poor Roman makes 1 mistake, and it was just big enough and at the wrong time with Arazu right on his tail, and that's all Gaston needed, and he pounced.
Yeah, like you said, Arazu's used to being up front, used to fighting for those top of the podium positions, and, you know, maybe Roman's not. 1 mistake like that just ruins everything. Unfortunate, but great race.
Well, you mentioned at the top, this is a highly competitive series, and they showed it again. Great fight up front for the win. There is Gaston Arazu pulling into Parc Fermé. Roman doing the same. And Drew Such on third finisher. They'll climb out of their cars and make their way over to the victory podium area. Gaston Arazu out of Uruguay in that Champagne Racing entry. Ilia Group, Bailey, Canal 4, and Cap sponsoring the car. And let's head down now to Ben Sissel, who's going to have all the podium finishers with him.
Here from the Champagne Racing team. Gaston, if you'll put on the hat, what a performance. You were following the 73 of Roman that whole race, and just about 3-4 minutes left. You were able to get around. How was it for you out there?
Well, it was a difficult race. I started bad, and later was really difficult to pass Roman, but luckily I can win, so I can get really good points for the championship.
Nice, yeah, very good points for the championship. I do need to say that the stewards have told me these are provisional results, so they might have seen something out there on the track, but if you will say something, our comments have been lighting up, so say something to your fans in Español, please.
Bueno, tuvimos una muy buena carrera. Comencé mal otra vez, se me complicó un poquito. Después fue medio complicado de pasar a Roman, pero afortunadamente él se equivocó en una curva y pude pasar.
Nice. Well, there you go. Gaston Arazu, currently our points leader. Another P1 for him for the finish all the way from Uruguay. I'm going to send it back to you, Ralph, so John Phippen can start with the festivities down here.
All right, Ben, thank you. Congratulations again, Gaston. He takes the win, his 4th of 2025. He'll extend his points lead in the chase for the opportunity to win this championship and move up to F4 in 2026. We will see the 2025 edition of the F4 Championship here momentarily. They will be next up on the racetrack here as our live coverage from New Jersey Motorsports Park continues here on SpeedTour 1. We have a great afternoon of open wheel competition from the New Jersey Lottery SpeedTour stop here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. And as soon as we get an update on Roman Felber, whether or not he jumped the start, we will pass that along to you. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, come right back to the Garden State.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident.